I mistakenly thought my boss's WeChat was my dad's, and I'd cozy up to him daily. "Daddy, can you take me on your next business trip? Daddy, your little baby is broke." Later, I went on a business trip with my boss, and we both got drunk. After sleeping together, I bolted. My boss texted me through gritted teeth. "Cooked for you, called me daddy, and now you run off with another man. What about me? Am I really your father now?" One after my dad, Arthur Gardner SR. Hit it big, he got cocky and decided I had to go on a blind date with a man 6 years older than me. I refused, so I ran away from home. My dad declared he'd cut off all my cards and that I wouldn't last 3 days before crawling back. It's been a week now, I haven't gone back. Dad lost, because I took all my luxury bags and watches with me, and to prove I could be self-sufficient, I found a job at a publicly listed company for $2,000 a month. After a week, Dad was the first to panic. Using the nickname Camellia, he sent me a friend request again. After ignoring him for a day, I decided to give him a way out. I checked his profile, he just went to Zurich. Great. Your only daughter is here earning $2,000 a month while you're enjoying blue skies and the Alps in Switzerland. Swallowing my pride, I messaged him, "Daddy, can you take me on your next business trip?" Still no reply. I sent a barrage of pleading kitten emojis. Little kitten has no money for food. Camellia on the other end? I sighed. Dad was probably still mad, but I wasn't ready to compromise. "Show me the money, transfer $15,000, or I won't call you daddy anymore." The bags and watches I listed online. People complained they were too expensive, barely anyone bought them. I slashed the prices drastically, and they still didn't believe they were authentic. I've started paying for my hotel room day by day. "Daddy, surely you don't want your daughter living under a bridge." All morning, Camellia ignored my messages. After lunch, I messaged him, "Daddy, you're so cruel. Can you bear to watch your little kitten starve?" Finally, just before quitting time, he transferred $15,000. I immediately replied, "I love Daddy the most." I almost leaped out of my chair, eagerly grabbing my bag. Time for a fancy sushi dinner. Just as I stood up, my team leader stopped me. "Annabelle, everyone else is still working." I glanced around. "Oh, well, I'm leaving." He gave me an exasperated look, whispering, "The CEO hasn't even left yet. If you walk out now, don't bother coming back tomorrow." I raised my voice. "I make $2,000 a month. You expect me to work overtime?" My voice echoed through the pin-drop silent office. "I want sushi, sushi click." The door to the CEO's office opened. Rumor had it that the CEO, Xavier Quincy, had just returned from Europe. I looked up, right into his eyes. "Seriously, I've run in various circles in Seaport City, and I've never seen anyone this drop-dead gorgeous." He wore a dark suit that looked incredibly luxurious, accentuating his tall, lean figure. My eyes traveled up. High brow bones, a strong nose. He radiated the kind of pressure you'd feel at a negotiation table. Broad shoulders tapered to a trim waist. He looked like he was in great shape. Stunningly handsome, but his expression was a bit sharp, making him seem unapproachable. The team leader plastered on a smile and greeted him, "Mr. Quincy, is there anything you need?" Xavier glanced at me. I braced myself, expecting him to order everyone to work late. Just as I prepared to stand up to him, he cleared his throat. Xavier's lips parted slightly as he looked at me. "It's quitting time." Everyone let out a cheer and started packing up. Since I was already packed, I hurried towards the front. Xavier walked behind me. Everyone else hung back, waiting for the big boss to leave first. But my reservation at the high-end sushi place had a time limit. No waiting. Wearing my heels, I stepped into the elevator. With a long stride, Xavier followed me in. I shifted aside, offering a polite smile. "Miss Gardner." The CEO actually remembers every employee's name? What a disaster for someone earning just $2,000 a month. There's an AI chip conference in California next Wednesday. Why tell me this? Who talks work after hours? You might be handsome, but you're not paying me double. I gave a non-committal "oh." "You'll accompany me. By the way, I'll have finance adjust your salary to $10,000 a month." Xavier stepped out of the elevator, leaving me frozen on the spot. Did I just get promoted for leaving on time? Making money is this easy? I immediately messaged my dad. "Dearest Daddy, I'm going to California. I'm so happy." I sent him several cute kitten emojis in a row. "Camellia, okay." 3 at the sushi restaurant, I snapped a picture. "Daddy, this sushi place is amazing, we should come together." Next time, the photo showed me holding a spoonful of fresh sea urchin, winking at the camera. It took Camelia a while to reply. When is next time? I thought about it. I still didn't want to see Dad yet. The moment we met, it would be all about setting me up on dates. This time it was a guy 6 years older. Next time, it would probably be one of those notorious Seaport City playboys. "That's just how the dating pool is in our circle," I replied. "Next time is next time, Daddy." I sent an angry kitten emoji. "Camelia?" He seemed a bit annoyed. I quickly tried to smooth things over. "Daddy, don't be mad, getting angry makes you old, and old isn't handsome." "Camelia, you think I'm old? Why was my dad so chatty today? Usually, it's just a couple of curt words." Looks like running away really did hurt his lonely old heart. I laid it on thick. "Daddy, you're the most handsome, the best, you're so successful and dashing. It's rare for someone your age. How about transferring a little more money to your precious baby?" "Camelia, transfer 30,000. What's that saying? No matter what age group a man belongs to, you need to know some child psychology, especially when dealing with my flaky dad. Right after dinner, HR messaged me. My new position was CEO's assistant. 10,000 a month, plus my own office. "Dad, I'm not coming back." I suddenly felt like maybe leaving the family nest wasn't so bad after all. The sun was shining just fine out here. At this rate, I might even end up buying out our family company. I thought about it these past couple of days. I really hadn't seen Xavier Quincy around in our circles. I asked around, but nobody knew any gossip or stories about him. Sitting atop a listed company like this, surely he couldn't be that much of a saint. Wait a minute. Promoting me, giving me a huge raise. Could he be interested in me? I checked myself out in the hotel mirror. Well, it's only natural. If my blind date had been this kind of man, who would run away? I was already getting carried away with daydreams when a message in the work group chat instantly doused my enthusiasm. Normally, I don't check work chats after hours, but someone in a smaller group was gossiping about why Xavier had returned to the country. I clicked great, just great. This top-tier guy returns only to marry his fiancé. My budding office romance was dead before it even started. Utterly hopeless for fine. I resolved to run this company into the ground. I woke up early, put on gorgeous makeup. When I got to the office, HR led me to my private office, right next to the CEO's office. The CEO's door was slightly ajar. I couldn't tell if anyone was inside. Yawning sleepily, I saw someone carrying a cup of coffee. Without seeing their face clearly, I casually ordered, "Make me one too, I'm dead tired." The words were barely out before regret hit. "This isn't home." Stop acting like a princess. HR froze, then awkwardly stammered, "Mr. Quincy, good morning." I snapped my head up, finally seeing Xavier's cool, handsome features. HR mumbled a greeting and scurried away. Xavier raised an eyebrow at me. He said, "I just made this, want it?" Maybe it was my imagination, but Xavier didn't seem quite as intimidating anymore. While I was still stunned, Xavier handed me the coffee and went back into his office. I sat at my desk, staring blankly at the cup. Took a sip. "Wow, better than our housekeeper, Mrs. Davis, makes it." Snapped a photo. "Daddy, this coffee is delicious." Camelia mimicked me, sending a dancing kitten emoji. An old man trying to fit in with the youth. My relationship with Dad had thawed considerably. I decided I'd go home after returning from California next week. After all, the breakfast at 5-star hotels is truly awful. These past few days, the CEO seemed to be acting weird, driving me to and from work every day, making it seem like he was my assistant. I was this close to asking if he had feelings for me, but I don't do love triangles. I wouldn't be the other woman. Xavier was extremely busy. I was in charge of arranging the California trip details. When Xavier saw the 2 plane seats booked far apart, his expression darkened slightly. I boldly explained, "Boss, here's the thing, I snore." Xavier pressed his lips together. He leaned in, whispering close to my ear, "Still calling me boss in private?" The proximity felt a bit too intimate. I edged away. What was that supposed to mean? Did he know I secretly nicknamed him Quincy the Model? The plane landed after midnight. Jet-lagged, I followed Xavier groggily into the car and to the hotel. I woke up the next afternoon. I saw a work email from Xavier saying he'd gone to the conference and I could manage my own time otherwise. I rubbed my hands together gleefully. My good gay bestie, Ian Sterling, heard I was coming to California a few days ago. He recommended several fun bars, said he absolutely had to introduce me to the foreign hunks when I arrived. I put on fiery makeup, slipped into a little camisole, and headed to the bar. When Ian saw me, he detached himself from some model type and rushed over. He was a high school classmate. Because he loved to party so much even back then, his dad shipped him off to the US. His dad thought being in an unfamiliar country would make him tone it down. Didn't expect him to party even harder. The 5 male models Ian ordered were all muscular types, oozing raw masculinity. Shirts loosely buttoned, they left little to the imagination when pouring my drinks. 3 surrounded Ian, 2 sat beside me. I melted under their chorus of Eastern beauty compliments. Tipsy and leaning in for a kiss, I felt a sharp grip on my wrist like a snake bite. I focused my eyes. A man even better looking than the models appeared before me. Dark, intense eyes behind gold-rimmed glasses. One hand clamped around my wrist, looking down imperiously at the scene. I frowned, muttering softly to Ian, "This one's my type, but wow, he has a strong grip." Ian cautiously shook his head at me. "I think that's your boss." Before I could process Ian's words, the snake dragged me away. I was tossed into the car, his grip still tight. I struggled but couldn't break free. So I decided to play coy, breathing hotly near his ear, "Hey handsome, let me go." The anger in his eyes hadn't faded. He released my hand, only to grip my waist instead. I clearly saw a vein throb on his forehead. "Love to play? Daddy will play with you." 6, my heart leaped, sobering me up slightly. This wasn't a model, this was Xavier, our eyes locked, so close we could feel each other's breath. It was hard to tell whose eyes held more desire. The car's atmosphere heated up, drawing us closer. I saw the deep, dark ocean of desire in his eyes, threatening to swallow me whole. I swallowed hard. "Wait, you have a fiancé." Xavier's hand kneaded my waist, not letting go. He enunciated clearly by my ear. She thought I was too old, so she ran off. He sounded so pitiful. His breath, tinged with alcohol, washed over me. I didn't know who was drunker, me or Xavier. My hand was guided lower and lower. I vaguely thought, well, that fiancé really missed out. Almost instantly, like magnets, our lips met, tongues tangling, saliva exchanging. I felt like a fish out of water, struggling to breathe. He let me go for a second, but only a second before pulling me back in, repeating the cycle. The Klein Blue California night was the perfect catalyst. Xavier's long, strong fingers were my best catalyst. Xavier asked in a deep voice how I felt, sounding very sincere. But his actions held a hint of punishment, insisting I call him Daddy. Finally, my voice hoarse, I could only cling weakly to Xavier, calling his name. He kissed my damp hair. "Good little kittens." I fell into a deep sleep. The next day when I woke up, hotel room service arrived with food. On the bedside table was a handwritten card from Xavier. "Good morning, good afternoon, little kitten. Eat well. After you eat, someone will bring clothes. There are still some matters from yesterday's meeting that need clarifying today. See you tonight. Xavier Quincy." Such a traditional card, such a traditional man. But my heart felt like it was soaked in strawberry sparkling water, bubbling with tiny pink bubbles. After eating, I was picking out a cocktail dress. Slightly annoyed about how to best hide the marks on my body, the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find a furtive-looking Ian Sterling. He looked me up and down, a wry, knowing smile playing on his lips. "Well done, sis, bagged the handsome CEO already." I winked at him, but he glanced left and right, then shoved me back into the room. The smile vanished from his face, replaced by tension. "Annie, we need to run now, 7, I was shocked." "Who did you mess with?" He grabbed me, his voice low and serious. "It's you. After that guy took you yesterday, I had someone look into him. We're in real trouble this time." Ian questioned me sternly. "Do you have any idea who you slept with?" Getting lectured by the unreliable Ian Sterling. I answered bluntly, "Xavier Quincy, my boss." He clapped his hands together. "And you really think he's just the CEO of some ordinary listed company?" Ian Sterling knows everyone who's anyone in Seaport City and North America, and I've never heard the name Xavier Quincy. Guess why? Because he's not part of your scene? Ian shook his head mysteriously. The Quincy's, that's the Quincy family. They've kept a low profile, almost reclusive, since my great-grandfather's time. Their assets and industries are spread globally. This generation doesn't even need to lift a finger. And you just slept with their only son. So what? It was mutual. Ian shot me another look, exasperated. He came to California specifically to find his fiancé. Her family deals in arms, and they have deep ties to the local gangs here. A fling between adults is one thing, Annie, but if his fiancé finds out, what do we do? The Quincy's would never marry into small families like ours. What if this was just a whim for Xavier? What happens to you? They could make us disappear with a snap of their fingers. Little people like us get caught in the middle, we end up as dust. I knew something was off yesterday. I'd never not know someone that powerful and gorgeous. Ian looked genuinely frightened. Arms dealers? Could they actually put a bullet in me here? My voice trembled. No way. Did I really provoke such a living devil? My face turned pale. Seeing I wasn't convinced, Ian pulled out his phone and showed me a photo. In a lavish ballroom, Xavier stood beside an ethereal, stunningly graceful young woman. Their arms were linked as they chatted and laughed with other business and political figures. So Xavier lied to me, saying his fiancée ran off. Turns out he came to California to chase after her. Ian cursed under his breath. Damn it, he's worse than me, Annie. You really screwed up this time. Don't worry, your bro will make it up to you next time, angry and annoyed. An indescribable sense of shame washed over me. Tears welled up. It was the helpless feeling of being deceived with no recourse. Wiping away tears, I randomly threw on a sweatshirt and jeans. I tossed a wad of cash onto the bed. On a piece of paper, I replied to Xavier. Bad morning, bad noon, bad night. Xavier Quincy, no wonder they say men are past their prime after 25. You were actually pretty average. Take the money, buy yourself something too. Boost your stamina. Ian gave me a thumbs up. Ata girl, I admire you. Dare to play, not afraid to lose, grabbing all my things, I fled back to the country with Ian. On the plane, I blocked Xavier's email and submitted my resignation to HR. Conveniently, having worked there for just over half a month, I hadn't added many contacts anyway. Ian sat beside me, his cute nose and soft features looking rather fetching. An evil thought struck me. Mind if I take a picture with you? Ian was busy scrutinizing his ex-boyfriend's social media. He mumbled an okay and looked up. Click. I posted the photo of me and Ian in the work group chat, then I left the group. Ian's face paled. Did you just announce us in your work chat? Yup, I nodded. Xavier's work account is in that chat. Ian looked surprised. You don't have his personal WeChat? I shook my head. Xavier's profile picture looked like a default bot avatar. Besides, he never spoke in the group. Who would dare add him? He probably wouldn't accept anyway. That's why we always communicated via work email. Ian sighed, then nodded in approval. Starting rumors with me? Not a bad deal for you. He handed me a tissue. Stop crying. Bro will find you a good man back home. I wiped my nose, swearing off love. In reality, the moment we landed, I dumped my luggage with Ian's butler, and we both collapsed into the arms of some models, crying our eyes out. Ian Sterling was an untamable wild child. Back in Seaport City, no one could control him. Plus, he claimed he was tired of the usual scene and insisted on sampling some Seaport City flavor. So we partied like there was no tomorrow. I couldn't keep up and headed back to the hotel first. Just before collapsing onto the bed, my phone screen lit up. Camellia, me. Camellia, where are you? Great. Just got back from California, and judging by this, Dad was still determined to set me up on that blind date with the old man. I didn't reply. Turned off my phone and messaged Ian. Don't tell anyone where I am, including my dad. Ian. Yes, ma'am. Aimlessly scrolling through my phone, I wondered that scumbag Xavier, was he really not going to contact me at all? I posted a picture with another guy in the work chat whatever. Maybe I really was just a fling. I tried searching online for information that could take down the Quincy family. It felt like an ant trying to shake a tree. Hopeless. I gave up. 9 woke up, opened my phone. Countless missed calls from Camellia. It was getting annoying. So I blocked him too. Called Ian. Hey, didn't you mention you had a tea estate in Willow Creek? Yeah, my ex gave it to me. What's up? His voice sounded raspy, like sandpaper. He must have partied all night. I clicked my tongue. Seriously, Ian, even if you're made of iron, you need to pace yourself. Ian, when did you start sounding like my ex? Never mind. I continued. I don't want to stay in Seaport City. Thinking of going to Willow Creek to clear my head. Oh, okay, I'll send you the address later. Ian's voice was lazy. Then he asked, Sis, need me to come with you? No, it's okay. Hearing my dejected tone, he suddenly sounded energized, like he'd had a shot of adrenaline. No way, sisterhood, before anything, I absolutely have to go with you. He immediately bought 2 plane tickets, but I waited at the departure gate and never saw Ian. Boarding was about to start when he sent me a frantic voice message. Sis, you go to Willow Creek first. I ran into my ex, Zeke. Damn, how did he get even hotter? Wait till I wrap my ex around my finger again, then I'll make him deal with Quincy. Yeah, right. Who should I believe, you or rumors of the first emperor rising from the dead? Whatever. My sister's rekindling an old flame. I wished him well. I replied, remember to pack plenty of condoms. Ian sent an okay hand emoji. Got it covered. 10. The tea estate was near the local monastery. On my first day, I went there to burn incense and pray. I prayed devoutly. Buddha, please ensure that those who betray true feelings never prosper. These past few days, every time I closed my eyes to sleep, Xavier's face, frowning in pleasure, would flash in my mind. Whenever that happened, I wanted to slap myself. I should be out partying hard, indulging like Ian. Just short on cash, so I opened the chat with Camellia. Daddy, wanna buy some tea? After sending the message, something felt off. Lost in heartbreak earlier, I hadn't paid attention. I scrolled up through the dozens of missed calls and found a message tucked in between. Camellia, cooked for you, called me daddy, and now you run off with another man. What about me? Am I really your father now? What? Isn't he my father? Looks like Dad sent the message to the wrong person and his girlfriend ran off with someone else. Dad sure plays around. Am I getting a stepmother? After a whirlwind of thoughts, Camellia messaged, where are you? Why does he keep asking where I am? Just wants to drag me back for that blind date? Tease 30,000 an ounce, daddy. Buy an ounce and I'll tell you. Camellia, transfer 30,000. So readily, Camellia. So where are you? I could practically feel Dad's anger through the text. And he's questioning me. I immediately replied to that message, Camellia. Cooked for you, called me daddy, and now you run off with another man. What about me? Am I really your father now? Dad, you sent that to the wrong person. You found yourself a new girlfriend. I won't interfere. But please, please, don't make your precious daughter go on a blind date with some old man. I'm begging you. I sent a crying kitten emoji. Then added, old men are no good, really. A friend told me firsthand. I thought we were starting something, but it was just an older man's amusement. A long time passed. Dad still hadn't replied. I figured he was wrestling with it. Finally, near midnight, Camellia, are they really no good? I sent a nodding kitten emoji, followed by a crying kitten, and a hugging kitten. 11. These past few days, every time Camellia asked where I was, I made him buy tea. Even after he bought it, I wouldn't tell him where I was. Though he guessed Willow Creek, he didn't know the exact location. Suddenly, the financial news channels were flooded with stories about the Quincy family, mostly about Xavier becoming the head of the Quincy empire. I ground my teeth. Ha, congratulations to you. Camellia suddenly messaged me. Almost got you. I replied to Camellia, Daddy, if you come to Willow Creek to catch me, I'll go to the monastery and become a nun. I'll pray every day for the Quincy family to go bankrupt. Camellia. My daily entertainment became figuring out how to spend the 30,000 allowance he kept sending. One day, returning from shopping, still in the car. Ian messaged me. Babe, I told my partner, now Zeke, that you went to the tea estate. That should be okay, right? Me, Ian, he insisted on asking right when. Well, you know, I had to spill the beans and betray you. I was confused. I have zero connection with young Master Lawson. Why would he ask about me? Ian. I kinda suspect Zeke used his pretty boy tactics. Is he working for Quincy's fiancé? I wondered why he was being so attentive these past few days. Zeke has me locked up now, says he needs to teach me a lesson. Keeps hinting I messed with the wrong people. What do I do? What do I do? My hands started shaking. I tried to reassure myself. It's okay, guns aren't allowed here. Me, is it that serious? Come on, which powerful family doesn't have some scandals? Even if the Quincy's came looking. Before the driver even reached the tea estate, I sensed something was wrong. The road was practically deserted, no tea farmers in sight. As we neared the estate, I saw a line of bodyguards. Definitely not hired by Ian to protect me. He couldn't even protect himself right now. I immediately told the driver to turn around. Run, legs, run 12. The tea estate was completely surrounded, locked down tight. I fled to a bar, on the verge of tears, and immediately called Camelia. The call connected in a single second. I sobbed into the phone. "Wah, Daddy, come save me. I think someone's trying to kill me. I'll never be difficult with you again. I'll go on whatever blind date you want. I won't trick you into buying tea anymore, Camelia." Address. Still crying, I sent him the address, completely missing that Camelia's voice sounded nothing like my dad's. I sent the address of a discreet bar, locked the private room door from the inside, and took a shaky sip of strong liquor. If it really was Xavier's fiancé coming to demand answers, I'd just say Xavier seduced me first. So what? Her man is out there causing trouble, and they're chasing me down to beat me up or kill me. Did they really need that many bodyguards? While lost in thought, Camelia called back. I answered, "Daddy, open the door." Only then did I realize that through the private room door, I couldn't even hear the bar's usual noisy revelry anymore. It had gone silent. Who silenced the bar? In the suddenly dead silent bar, all I could hear was that deep voice outside telling me to open the door. It didn't sound like my dad. Before I could react, my hand, as if possessed, was already on the doorknob. A gentle pull, then I looked up, and fell into those deep, dark eyes that always haunted my thoughts. Sparks seemed to fly from Xavier's eyes, scorching my soul. For a split second, I wanted to run again, but my wrist was caught in an iron grip. Xavier lifted his eyelids slightly. His eyes were dark and heavy as he asked, word by word, "Trying to run again?" Xavier pulled me into the room and locked the door behind him. I scrambled to the farthest corner, glaring at him. "What do you want? My dad will be here any minute." "What do you think I want?" His deep, magnetic voice held an undercurrent of ice. A dangerous glint flickered in his eyes, swirling with undisguised possessiveness. I took a deep breath. As if I dare presume to know Mr. Quincy's intentions. Xavier narrowed his eyes, picked up the glass I'd been drinking from, still half full. He swirled it, and under my watchful eyes, casually drank it. Then he slowly walked towards me, pinning me in the small space. Any move felt wrong. Every part of him screamed danger. "I want Miss Gardner to take responsibility for me." 13. His breath, still laced with the scent of liquor, washed over me. I swallowed hard. The Quincy's were so petty just one wild night, and he actually wants me to take responsibility. "Money's not an issue. How much do you want?" Xavier blinked, seemingly surprised by my response. His deep eyes locked onto mine as he slowly massaged my earlobe. "I don't want money. I want Annabelle. You have a fiancé and you're pulling this stunt? Only an idiot wouldn't understand his implication now." My legs felt like jelly. I couldn't make another mistake. You, wait a second." He drew closer and closer. Panicked, I blurted out, "I have a boyfriend." He captured my lips, silencing the rest of my words. He explored, tangled, then bit down punishingly. Finally releasing me, panting heavily, he stated, "I don't mind." He stared at me for a moment, helping me catch my breath. While soothing me, he questioned, "You mind that I'm old, but you don't mind that he's gay?" What's wrong with being gay? Why did he sound so angry? I should be the angry one. This was too passive. He kissed me again. He trapped me in his space, always the one taking, demanding. A wave of grievance washed over me. I bit my slightly swollen lip. Fiercely, I spat. "I do mind." I said, "I mind. I mind that you're older. I mind that you have a fiancé. I mind that you treated me like a fling. I mind that you just drank my drink. I mind that you, Xavier Quincy, do whatever you want. I hid all the way in Willow Creek, and you still came after me." Frantically wiping away tears, I pushed him away. Steeling myself, I walked towards the door, muttering nonsensically, "I'm going to find my dad. I'm going home. Don't follow me." I reached the edge of Westlake before finally answering Camelia's call. "Daddy, where are you?" "It's me, Xavier Quincy." My mind exploded. Was I hallucinating? I checked the contact name on my phone. My dad had always used this nickname, Camelia, because our family used to have a red camellia garden meticulously cared for by my mother. It was stunning every spring. After Mom passed, Dad never changed his WeChat name. I scrolled up through our chat history. It was wrong from the very beginning. I had jumped to conclusions, assuming Camelia was my dad. Turns out Xavier's WeChat name was also Camelia. So from the moment Xavier added me, I had the wrong person. 14. Annabelle, after you disappeared, I knew you didn't mean daddy that way anymore. Annabelle, can I explain? I was still reeling from the humiliation of calling him daddy every day, asking him for money. And the most recent chat history was me scamming him into buying tea I managed and owe. I don't have any fiancé other than you. I don't know what gave you that misunderstanding, but it must be my fault. I apologize. When you first messaged me, perhaps it seemed like an accidental mistake to you, but even without that mistake, I would have approached you. My brain felt oxygen deprived from crying, slow to process. No fiancé other than me. Meaning I was his fiancé? What was going on? If you don't mind, I'll continue. I admit, I did have a potential match arranged a long time ago, but that was years ago, and I never agreed to it. His voice softened. Perhaps you don't remember, but we met once before, in your family's red camellia garden. Because your father mentioned you had a large red camellia garden, I asked my father to accept your family's invitation. In the garden, I saw you. My thoughts drifted back. A long, long time ago, when we still lived in the old house. Important guests were visiting, the adults were discussing business in the drawing room. Bored, I wandered off and saw a teenage boy with a sobbing little girl sitting in our camellia garden. The little girl wouldn't stop crying, so the boy unwrapped a lollipop to soothe her. I was losing my baby teeth then, and Mom wouldn't let me have candy. I cried because I wanted it so badly, grabbing the boy's leg and throwing a tantrum. Wah, I'm crying too quick. Soothe me, give me candy, my face flushed red. Why was I always so unreasonable whenever I encountered Xavier? Give me candy, give me money. If you don't, I'll act spoiled. If you don't, I'll cry. He sighed and continued, after that, I asked about you. But my father told me my marriage was already decided. He said the Quincy family's marriages weren't for us to choose. So I had to climb, step by step, to the center of power, and only then could I approach your father and ask him to arrange a meeting for us. But you refused. And ran away from home. His tone suddenly turned wounded. Annabelle, do you really dislike me? He asked with sincerity. Was that night not good? Then his tone turned wicked. I'm only 6 years older than you. I work out constantly. Is that still not good enough? It's hard to gain power in the Quincy family, so it took me a long time. Annabelle, do you really mind the age gap that much? 15. So many questions. Just as I was about to answer, my phone died. I looked around frantically. Where could I charge it? Why did it have to die now? A sudden urgency gripped me, worried Xavier wouldn't hear my response. I spun around and bumped right into a familiar chest. Xavier's eyes were deep as he looked at my tear-reddened eyes. Finally, he sighed helplessly, slowly saying, so easy to cry, but I don't have a lollipop this time. What should I do? I mimicked his tone. What should we do? In the car, he placed my hand over his heart. Through the cotton fabric, I felt the strong, steady beat. Annabelle, please don't mind anymore, okay? Once my phone was charged, I found the photo Ian had shown me and presented it to Xavier. Even the usually composed Xavier looked momentarily stunned. He pulled me onto his lap, smiling wryly. That's my sister. You met her when you were little. Who gave you that photo? How heartless, framing me like that. His hand slowly drifted lower, whispering near my ear, Annabelle, I work out every day. His fingertips traced my lips, sending shivers down my spine. I finally understood why Xavier kept mentioning his daily workouts. Rain pattered outside, landing on the camellia blossoms. The flowers, unable to bear the weight, bent their stems to an almost impossible angle. As if praying for the rain to lessen, to spare the poor little flowers, to not be so urgent, so heavy. Gentler, slower. As the storm hit, the camellias trembled uncontrollably from head to toe. Finally, unable to hold back, a cry escaped. He merely lifted his gaze to look at me, eyes filled with deep desire. Full of affection yet teasing, enough to melt my bones. Every touch, every encounter felt like a silent, passionate battle. He soothed, Annie, don't be afraid. Making it easy to mistake the culprit before me for a knight in shining armor come to save me. His mouth offered sweet words, honeyed reassurances, yet his actions were relentless. Finally, even lifting a finger felt like too much effort. Was it just average this time? Was it good this time? Annie, don't run anymore. 16. Returning to Seaport City from Willow Creek, after nearly a month away, I finally went home. When my dad saw me, he looked like he wanted to throw his laptop at me. He drawled sarcastically, Well, her ladyship returns. I rushed to hug him. Daddy, he waved me off. Don't I can't handle it. You run away, and I was worried you'd starve, so I tucked several Patek Philippe's into your luggage. And you, brilliant move, turned around and sold them online. For 10 cents on the dollar, do you have a brain? I pouted. Ah, forget it. Dad looked me over. You've lost weight. I'll have Mrs. Davis make soup today. If you didn't want the blind date, fine, but did you really have to run away? My dad's eyes reddened as he spoke, sighing. But I won't approve of you and Ian Sterling either. That playboy trouble since he was a kid, notorious in Seaport City and North America. If you dare marry him, I'll hang myself on your mother's grave. Dad had barely finished speaking when Ian appeared at our door. His voice boomed. Annabelle heard you landed Xavier Quincy. He walked in, beaming. Dad's face darkened, but at the mention of Xavier's name, his expression immediately improved. Clutching his chest, Dad said, Seems I misjudged your friend. If it's Xavier, then I'm relieved. Ian pulled me aside. Xavier told reporters during an interview today that his fiancé is Annabelle Gardner. You really did it. Now I don't have to worry about getting shot. Young Master Lawson finally let me out today. He took a sip of sweet soup. Zeke told me later, when Xavier saw the photo you posted in the work chat, he almost lost his mind. Said he was going to take me out right here in Seaport City. Of course, that's what Zeke told me. Zeke claims he saved my skin. I don't know if Zeke was just trying to scare me, but thinking back, my family's businesses did take a huge hit from the Quincy's around that time. But hey, the good thing is, we're both okay now, hee. Ian proudly showed off the diamond ring on his finger for ages. Then he told me tearfully, we got married overseas. Zeke said this way I'll settle down and focus on domestic life. Sis, I can't take you to bars anymore. 17 from the balcony, I saw Xavier arrive holding a large bouquet of camellias. Dressed formally, looking every bit the perfect gentleman as he knocked on the door. He definitely knew our security code. I found it amusing. So I asked him directly, What are you doing here? Xavier smiled handsomely, answering deadpan, Miss Gardner, I'm here for our blind date. Annabelle, I have lots and lots of candy, and lots of money. You can act spoiled with me. You can cry when you act spoiled.